one thing I love asking everybody on the channel is, what is one thing that you now know now that you wish you knew when you started?
Mm. Um, I feel like I think you've tapped on it early on. It's that relationships matter. Like it relationship is greater than any other, creative input that you can offer. Because yes, you're creative, but at the same time, if you're hard to work with, or if you don't have any relationship, your client, or if the artist you're working for or you're working with don't trust you, or
Mm,
don't like you, or don't just the relation. For me, so basically it's just the relationship. I invest more in the relationship, even as a creative. I don't know. This is something that I do for my clients, is that I don't I don't bill everything, just because I don't bill everything. Like as a creative, I have the initiative to say, hey, we can do this, and I don't bill it at all.
mm.
It's because as I was saying before, it's for the long game, Hey,
Hundred
let's
percent.
do.
Come on, I love. Oh, you're
Yeah.
like we're like on the same wavelength, man.
Yeah.
I love
For me,
it.
for example, if there's a teaser that we want to do, I don't bill it.
Uh
I
huh.
just say, hey, this will launch our video. Will launch the main video that we're working for. So if I feel like we need a teaser for this, and that's my idea, that's my initiative, then I won't bill them for that, because I want them to succeed. I want the video to succeed. So, and that's
Every
for me,
artist
that
needs a
go
Max, man. Every artist
yeah.
needs one of you. Come on.
And that for me is, it goes back to the relationship that I have with the
Yes.
artist, because I
Yes.
want them to succeed, because I'm not just here for the creative direction or for a certain project. I want them to succeed, and I suggest different stuff, like, hey, let's get this for sponsorship, or let's get this for let's try this direction, or let's
Yes.
do this, let's do that. Like, even like IG story teasers or whatever, or a post or something like that, or I just suggest,
Yeah.
because that's how I feel like the artist would really appreciate from us, even like from us creative suppliers, as creative, as people who do creatives full time.
Yes.
Um, we don't have to build everything. So basically, that's it. We don't have to build
I
everything.
love that.
If we want people to succeed, let's help them succeed.
A
And
hundred
there are
percent.
there are there there are opportunities that we can build them, for sure, but there are also heaps of opportunities that we don't need to, that will help them and that will help their career. So for
Exactly.
me for me that's what I learned, even in this pandemic. It really, like, I was this pandemic has really emphasized that in my career, just because even artists are struggling right now to produce
Mm.
their own content. Even musicians, like, or brands or small businesses, it's a hard time for them. And us creative suppliers, yes, we can build them in all the major stuff or all the major things, but this is our contribution to them right now in this pandemic, that
Mm.
we give them content that's for free, that can help their businesses or that can help their career as well. And for me, I love doing that, and it's not something that I'm forced to do. It's really something that, for me, would help me as a creative to to just explore. Because, like, sometimes all these free
Mm.
other stuff is that, hey, this is what I want to try. I want to try this approach, or I want to try this platform. I want to try, for example, a TikTok ad, or I want to try, and I offer that to my clients for free. And then for me, that's a learning already. Like, hey, okay, TikTok is not working, or like TikTok is working, or this is something that we can do for the next project or something like that. So for me, that's a learning. But for them, that's a huge deal already. That, hey, this creative director wants me to succeed,
Mm-hmm.
and that for me is the win.
Absolutely.
That they would know that I care for them more than I want their money or something like that.
Yes.
So
And
yeah,
as they succeed, you succeed. It's
yeah,
like there's this saying, like, you know, as you give, it always comes back in more.
yes,
And it's
yeah,
it's so wild, man. I love that concept. So that's a perfect note to end on. Give, as like you said, as you give, it always comes back. Like in whatever way, shape, or form. So that's
yes.
amazing, man. I love the way you think. I think that you have a really special mentality. So I want to applaud you
Thank
for
you.
that.